Hello, salutations. What to do? It's not the gamer off father. Do our game the vibes like a tribe. Let's get it. We are back, fresh off of that Thanksgiving vacation. We are once again live for the Aftershow Podcast, the best time you can spend on a Friday evening if you are lonely. I am Sadot the Gamer, and I am joined by the ghost of Casual Avenger, and of course, my co-host Jayshockblast. How you doing, my friend?
Not bad. How are you, man? Hope you had a good turkey day.
I had a great not eating turkey day. Turkey is a trash bird, and I maintain that.
I like dark meat, so I
Of
like
course, you
that's
do.
but yeah, I do agree that white meat is a little leaves a little bit to be desired. It's like not
Yeah,
quite chicken,
damn right. Dark
but
power.
I do think dark meat is delightful, and that's all I eat.
I
So
had the only time I ever eat turkey is when I'm ordering from like a soul food restaurant, and they have like baked turkey wings, and I'll get that with the collard greens and the yams and everything like that. That's when it that's when it tastes good, and it's seasoned and tender. But the Thanksgiving preparation of turkey is just always ass, and so I just got rotisserie chicken. Either that I either get rotisserie chicken or like a roast chicken or a fried chicken. I got Wegmans roast chicken this time around, and it was very good.
nice. We've gotten pretty lucky. Like, a lot of times when you get married, you have to like struggle of whose family's house to go to. Thanksgiving, we've got this mastered. My mom and my brother come with us to my in-laws' house, and like it's like the best of both worlds. Everybody's all in one place. You know what I mean? So we had lots of fixins, and yeah, hope everybody had themselves a good turkey day. And
It's all about this. It's definitely all about the sides. I love got made sure I got plenty of cranberry sauce, plenty of stuffing, and mac and cheese.
yeah, my mom makes like amazing stuffing. Like, I
Nothing
always
like,
love that.
nothing like some good stuff. I will. I hate turkey, but I will have some turkey gravy.
Yeah, yeah. I made the mashed potatoes this year. I did good.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because it's more than just like mashing the potatoes.
Oh,
Gotta throw a little bit of milk in. Gotta throw some paprika, some pepper, and some cheese. Let it
oh,
all melt in there real nice and good, and get all fluffy and creamy. And
see, I
yeah,
don't see. I didn't feel like cooking, so I ordered everything for ready to eat. It was great. I had Wegmans had everything. I had the herb stuffing. I had 5 cheese mashed potatoes. It was, everything is cranberry sauce always should always be out of the can. That's I don't want you I don't want I don't care how good you think you are in the kitchen. I don't want your fucking homemade cranberry sauce.
yeah.
If it's not in a can, I don't want it.
We have a juicer, and I used it for like the second time ever this week, and I was kind of like shocked at how little I got out of it. And your cranberry sauce just made me think of don't make your own. I think I think I've learned just don't make your own juice either.
That's it. That's it. It's so simple. It's like it's in the store for a reason.
Yeah. Well, because I thought it'd be really good and fresh and everything, and it was pretty good. I mean, it was literally pure fruit juice, but I had like these 3 things of 4 containers of raspberries, and I'm pretty sure I got 0 juice out of any of it.
Yeah, that just sounds like a waste.
Like, it just went straight to pulp. And then yeah, blackberries didn't do much either, but obviously the orange, the apple, the pineapple,
Oh
and the
yeah,
strawberries contributed quite a
plenty of
bit.
juice to be had there.
Yeah. I like to just do like a huge thing. You know what I mean?
She makes it with giblets.
That was Thor's Thanksgiving.
Well, Eastwood, you can always serve it to Thor if you know what he.
Thor lead anything.
We got Doom Killer HD in the building at work, getting in that lurk. I appreciate you, good sir. It's up to the chat. We had Simple J is officially first this week. He is the winner, beating out Capte in Eastwood. Congratulations, my friend. Be proud. Shout out to Capte Eastwood. Better luck next week. We got Venom in the building. Early Memory. Appreciate y'all hanging out. What's up, Arcade? Just got over here. We got Old Man Doom here representing. Hopefully, we can get him on the actual show at some point. That'd be nice. We already had Johnny on. We've had Miller. We definitely gotta get Doom out here. So we missed. We didn't miss it that much. Take it a week off. We didn't talk Invincible because certain people didn't finish it. But other than that, we didn't really miss anything. The big news was today because GTA 6 made their big announcement. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna be talking about Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, because the closed alpha started this week, and funny enough, even though it's a closed alpha, a lot of people have had a lot to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that are getting banned for trying to stream it, like somebody caught the ban live and like screen recorded it.
The funniest
And it
thing.
was the person's like, but no, it's fine. There's a streamer mode. And then literally as he's going into the menu, boom, banned. And the part that made it even funnier is they had like the voice text to voice activated, so it like read the ban on the screen too.
Oh my god! So this just reminds me like people like this exist. Like because I assumed it had to be a troll, but I was like, no, there are actually people that are that stupid.
I mean, streamer mode is in the video, or I'm sorry, the audio section. Like,
yeah,
how do you not know what that means? Like there are so many games with a streamer mode. How do you not understand what streamer mode is?
Funny enough, how are you a streamer and you
Yeah.
don't know what a streamer mode is?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, oh yeah, streamer mode. I'm perfectly fine streaming this NDA lock content because
Yeah.
I turned stream. What are you on?
Yeah, and like all the people like, oh well, they can't enforce an NDA. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They sure can. As you
If
can see.
if they catch you, they can very much do a lot to enforce it. They could ban you. They can account ban you. They can sue you.
They
They
can
do a lot of things.
strike your video. Like, listen, don't do it. All right. Like, if you're watching this and you're even considering, you're like, oh, well, they're not going to ban me. I'm just going to record it and post it after. They will strike you. Like, WB is notorious
Very strike happy.
for striking. They will strike you. Don't get your account banned from ever playing it.
Yeah, they will. WB has been known, especially on YouTube, to issue strikes for no reason, like for completely fair use. They don't play around for certain. They just don't test them, especially when you're actually signing an NDA or like you guys.
But I didn't sign anything. You agreed to it.
You agreed to the NDA.
Like, you literally can't play the game without accepting the terms.
Yes, you accept the terms. They are legally binding. You accepted the terms. You have to, even if you didn't read them, you still have to abide by them regardless.
And obviously, we're going to abide by them. We're not going to talk about our experience in the game. We are going to talk about some of the stuff that other people are doing. But we're gonna, play it safe.
I can't even. I'm not. I don't know why you're implying that I'm even playing the game.
That's correct.
Who said I even have it?
I mean, you know what one of the hilarious things was? You get this email that talks all about an NDA, and everybody was like posting the email. Got the email.
Yeah.
Here it is.
The
It's like,
biggest, I was surprised when Caboose posted it. It was like, "Hey, I got the email. I can play it. Oh, I also got a code."
I'm sure he asked first, so
That's why I was like, what exactly is the protocol here?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're not supposed to not supposed to let anyone know that you're playing it, but you also could tell, but you also can send out friend invites, so you obviously have to tell
right.
your friend. But people are just announcing it that, yeah, I'm in, and if you need a code, hit me up.
Yeah. So there's that, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's wild because there aren't many companies that give this opportunity to like play such an early version of the game. Um and yeah. So to
And
like, blow it, like to blow it for everybody. Why would you do that? Like, why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you put everybody else in that position? Like, if you can't play it cool and like just follow the simple rules, like what are you gonna get out of it? You're not gonna get anything out of it. Like, you're not gonna get any kind of clout. You're gonna be forgotten tomorrow. Like,
yeah, it's the people trying to post the actual content. It's like, I feel like the telling people you're doing is a kind of a gray area. I guess you consider it a gray area, because you have to tell, you can't actually not tell anyone if that you're testing it, because you're allowed to invite up to 3 people.
right.
So there has to be some kind of wiggle room there anyway.
Yeah.
And
I,
I feel like just saying that you're going to test it, it doesn't really harm anything, and it's promotion
right.
for the game.
I agree with you. It's like I think that's where it like stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's where the line is.
yeah.
Obviously,
Because also you technically haven't agreed to anything yet.
right. And like at that point, everybody knows that there is this thing. They've said there is this thing, and you can tell people, "Hey, you can play this thing with me." So like, yeah, I think that's kind of where the line begins, and you don't want to go past there. So
Yeah, but once you agree to it, then yeah, you can't talk about
right,
what you're doing, what your impressions are, what's going on, and obviously you cannot and should not share anything, especially since your information is going to be all over the
yeah.
screen.
Yeah, like this is gonna make the Avengers IP address fiasco. Like, if you thought that was bad for you, I've got some bad news about trying to do anything with this.
Yeah, I saw some people try to get around it by blurring it, like, and then blow it up. It's like, the just you can't just be satisfied just playing the damn just playing the game and
Yeah,
just enjoying it for what it is. But we're gonna break it down, because Miller had a lot to say about.
yeah, yeah, he did. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of, as everybody knows, I have a pretty good working relationship with WB, so I'm somewhat certainly not money, but I mean, I guess I've been flown to a lot
this
of places.
this is me holding a bag of money.
Yeah, I have been flown many places to play many games for them by them. So I mean, I guess that's not technically money, but it costs money to do it, and I didn't have to pay. So there is that, and I'm certainly protective of that. So like I am doing everything I can to play by the rules, because trust me, like we all want to talk about it. Like we all want to, but we agreed to it, and I actually think this is one of those rare situations where the NDA actually hurts more than it helps.
Yeah, I feel like, because I was expecting them to do a public beta,
And they
and
still may.
maybe they'll still do one, but yeah, I think Miller was making this point where he was like, he wishes that they were more active on social media.
I wish they paid my mortgage.
uh, yeah, mortgages are something that I definitely I'm very much looking forward to the day when I have enough money to just pay off the entire house, so I don't have to worry about paying paying a
Yeah.
mortgage anymore. Because that is a hefty chunk.
I'm in like this weird position where like I want to refinance because I have mortgage insurance, which if you don't know what mortgage insurance is, they slap it on you when you don't put like enough money down when you buy the house, and it's a penalty for other people defaulting on mortgages.
Sounds
like
fair.
like that's what it is. You're not being penalized for actually not putting it down. It's just because there are other people that have defaulted on their mortgage, they're going to charge you this mortgage insurance just in case you don't.
Right.
You know, so and it can't, I got in like at a point where it couldn't be removed. Like there used to be a way that at a certain point, if you once you paid enough to reach that point of the minimum down payment, that they could just remove it. But now you have to literally refinance your mortgage to do it. And my rate is so good that if I were to refinance and get the best rate I possibly could right now, it would probably still be more a month the difference than the mortgage insurance. So it's like American economics, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, at least we're not paying Peter Parker Aunt May mortgage prices per month.
Yeah. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Pete's fucked.
Dude, yeah, that's LA mortgage.
Yeah, 4,000 is crazy. That's like a New York apartment.
Yeah, that's like over 2 times my mortgage.
Yeah, that's like I think that's exactly 4 times my mortgage.
Jeez.
Like, I'm right under 1,000.
Oh, nice. Mine just went up $100. I think our taxes went up, but mine's like 1,700.
Oof, yeah, that's I'm paying. Fortunately, mine hasn't gone up nearly that much.
Yeah, but I will say, when we do sell the house, when I bought it for 224. The city currently values at, or town currently values it at 380. So, when I do sell it, it's probably going to sell for like at least 4.
Ooh,
So I'm not going to complain about that.
well,
I've almost doubled the value of the house.
there you go.
So
That's where it's at. It's all about the flip. So we're gonna get into the GTA 6 trailer announcement real quick. But first, I want to say fuck HP printers. I hate them with a passion.
oh boy.
Like first of all, I don't like printers. Just in general, just because and maybe it's because I've gotten so many HP printers and they're all shit. But I just resent the idea of having to get a printer because I feel like we're in this technology, we have all this technology, and I feel like, all right, I'll never have to use a printer. And then some boomer reason comes up that requires me to use a printer. So I either have to go to the library or I have to buy a printer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of going to the library. So I was like, all right, let me buy a printer. But then every time I buy a printer, it works for the purpose that I needed to. And then the next time I need it, for whatever reason, the printer doesn't work. And it's always a fucking HP printer. Like I literally got one a couple that barely, I think this one is barely 2 years old. I got a new HP printer. It's the fancy one. It's connected to the app. It's got the Bluetooth and everything like that. I'm like, cool. I have this. So because I had some boomer garbage came up. I had to get it. So I'm like, okay, I have a printer in my room, so I can whenever I need it, I got a fancy printer. I can just hop on the computer, turn it on, Bluetooth, boom, print, boom. So today my dad hits me up because he's a bigger boomer than you. He he has something for a Bible study that he had to handwrite. He wrote some stuff out of a story because and he needs someone to type it up and then print it out and also hole punch it. So I just had to go back 30 years. I had to get a printer and a hole punch and type this up. I'm like, is there any way you could just email this or I can look up the book? He's like, no, I hand printed, I hand wrote my notes. I need my notes typed up. I'm like, Jesus Christ. All right, so I got to type up his notes and I got to print it out. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have a printer. It's not that big a deal. So I tried to print, and as soon as I print, I check. It's a blank page. I'm like, okay, that shouldn't happen. So I play with the settings, blank page. I'm like, I checked the ink levels, perfectly full because I didn't even use it. Still printing blank pages. So I checked the app, and for some reason, the barely 2-year-old printer that I got is like no longer compatible with the app, which took me like, which it was when I bought it. And it took me an hour of troubleshooting and realizing that there's no way to actually talk to a person because my specific version, they don't have that support anymore. Again, barely 2 years old. And they have older versions that are supported of this series. But for some reason, the particular model that I got is unsupported for customer support, doesn't work properly with the app, and prints blank pages. So I'm just like, so this is trash.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a skill issue.
It's definitely not a skill issue. It's supposed to print. It's not printing. That's all I need to do. Print. And it's printing a blank page. So I uninstalled the app. I'm throwing this in the trash. And I went on Amazon and I was like, I'm gonna get a new printer, but I'm never buying HP again. And I stumbled across some fancy new technology that I've never received before. I was like, because I was determined to get like a printer that isn't ass. And apparently they make printers now that don't require ink or cartridges at all. Like I looked at it, I thought it was like it kind of looked like a stapler or something, or a rolling pin. It's like this long, and it looks like you just put the sheet of paper in, and then it connects to your Bluetooth or whatever, and it just rolls the page through and prints out everything. It's called thermal printing. It doesn't require a cartridge or any. All you need is the paper, and it's portable, so you can, because it's only like this big, so you can carry it around anywhere as long and just connect it to whatever device. So that's coming today. So I'm just gonna grab. So I'm hopefully that one works, because I never want to deal with cartridges or
Dude,
that shit ever again.
I think I also have an HP printer, and like it literally is sitting over there with like just piles of stuff stacked on it.
Yeah.
And I use it like once a year. I used to, like, whenever I got NDAs, I would print them out, sign it, scan it, and send it back. And I've just stopped doing that. Now I just pull out what's the app called? The snipping tool.
Yeah.
I snip the page, I like sign it with my mouse, and then I just like print everything else in there, and I just email it back, and nobody ever cares. So like,
Yeah, I literally just use the PDF editor and just sign.
yeah, sometimes I'll do that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, because a lot of them will just send like, now they'll send like DocuSign or something.
yeah.
But like, yeah, that's literally the only reason I use my printer anymore. And I remember back in the day, printers were way more important. Like we used to have to go to like websites and Google like MapQuest directions and
God.
print them out and like bring them with us. I drove like to Seattle with MapQuest.
Fuck your work and your printer. How about that? So
I do have to say that did remind me of an episode of The Office when Pam had to set up the new printer. So my brother walked in.
I felt like I was in the office.
My brother walked in with the sweet GI Joe figure of Shockwave, Jason Shockwave Faria. My second
No
favorite
relation.
my second favorite GI Joe ever. At one point, they changed his name to Shock Blast, and
You sued them for copyright infringement.
no, that's where I got the name Shock Blast Media
Oh,
back in the day.
so they sued you for copyright infringement.
I looked into it. They actually let the copyright lapse.
Oh, there you go.
So anyway, when we were starting it started as a website, and then I started the YouTube channel. We were trying to think of a name that was cool that like represented us, and we ended up deciding on Shock Blast Media because Shockwave Media
That's such a 90s thing.
is, yeah, but Shockwave Media sounded super generic. And obviously there's Shockwave, the GI Joe and Transformer, but there's also a Shock Blast Transformer, and they had changed his name to Shock Blast at one point. So we thought that sounded cooler, and thus history.
Oh yeah, Shock Blast definitely sounds less generic than Shockwave. Oh, that's just Twitch nonsense.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Mountain Dew bot?
There's a Mountain Dew bot? No, I don't.
Yeah, so there's like a Mountain Dew bot that it's a partnership with Twitch, and they are using AI to like scan your stream, and if they see anything that looks like a Mountain Dew logo, it'll like comment on your chat.
Why?
Promotion.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I don't want that at all. Also, Mountain Dew is awful for you.
It's my brother's favorite, but I've never drank it.
I drank it back in the day, but I've sworn off all soda.
I would never want to visit that either.
I will not drink it. But
I don't even take offense.
Which is awkward because I got an accidental grocery delivery and I still haven't gotten around to throwing out all those sodas. There's literally like six bottles of soda that came with the order that I can't use.
Just
because
put a bunch of Mentos in them.
that sounds like a productive use. Shock only.
I don't blame you, like I said.
So we'll get into this real quick because I know you're a huge fan. GTA 6 officially coming December 5th, and now already everybody is stealing Rockstar's font. Like this literally just happened, and already game companies are taking advantage and are using the vague Miami background.
I saw Halo did one.
Yeah, Halo, Fall Guys did one. That's just the thing moving forward. Apparently, I'm guessing they actually are going to have trailers. I would hope so. That's not fake. Let me pull up this is the Halo Infinite one. Yeah, they're apparently dropping a trailer on Monday, just December 4th. Which this just shows you the just absolute insane impact that GTA has. Like everybody, as soon as GTA announced it, they do anything. Everybody is moving. Everybody is on it.
Well, I mean, I think that's the case with anything that's popular. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey pee all over you.
But usually that's weird. But usually
it's from The Office.
Usually it takes a little longer. Like I mean, it was literally up for 5 hours.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Like that's actually crazy. But I'm thinking that. So funny enough, someone actually, there was an account I scrolled across Twitter yesterday, and it was they were called Gaming Detective. And they said tomorrow, December 1st, Rockstar is going to announce the GTA trailer. They're going to announce the GTA trailer is going to be on this is going to be premiering on Tuesday, December 5th, and the GTA Online DLC is coming out on the 12th. I saw that yesterday, and
That's crazy.
and then I read the comments. He's like, "That's my wishful thinking," and then I checked today, and sure enough, GTA 6, Tuesday, December 5th.
I mean, you couldn't miss it. Every single person like quote tweeted it.
Yeah,
My quote tweet said, "A quote tweet, but just me this time."
yeah.
Something like that.
So I think we can all agree this is going to be like the most viewed game trailer ever. But the question is, will it actually be good? Because I made it because when I've made a couple GTA 6 videos, and from what I can see, you have people generally excited about it because it's Grand Theft Auto, but you have you got a lot of new healthy skepticism, or and a lot of unhealthy skepticism. You have people that feel some type of way about how GTA Online has been, and they don't want the live service stuff, and of course, which whatever. But you also have the people that are afraid that GTA is going to go the way of the Saints Row reboot, and
I doubt it.
get woke.
Does get woke mean have a female playable character?
for
Like,
for many of them, yes, but they also are of course worried about Saints Row reboot, where it's a game where all the characters are complaining about student loans and late stage capitalism, and give you lectures about pronouns or whatever.
I feel like there will be some of that in there in some cases. I don't think it'll be like the focal point of the game like Saints Row was, but Saints Row I think was a little more susceptible to that type of thing because it's always been just an awkward game. Um, like it was a fun game, but like the dialogue in that game has always been a little,
Bad.
off the beaten path. Like I just with Grand Theft Auto though, like even 5, like you think about the main story, like it was a heist, like you're robbing, and it is absolutely robbing the rich situation, like so I mean, obviously that's going to be some aspect of it.
Yeah, they're
Um
obviously going to comment on that because it's our current culture, but yeah,
right.
but the concern is just that they're going to just fully embrace it and basically water down the game to appeal the blue haired
But they don't
parents
have
on Twitter.
to. They're Grand Theft Auto and like that's never been their thing, you know what I mean? Like yeah, there's like, socially conscious things that are within the game, but like it's never been about that for them. They've always been we are the culture and we're going to make the game the story that makes the most sense.
And
You know,
and they have never been afraid to be funny or edgy,
right.
and that's what people are concerned about. And I don't think it's going to be a problem. Even if GTA were to go that route, you're not going to find out in the trailer, the GTA 6 trailer. They're not going to do that. They're smart enough to at least not to put it in the first trailer, because Saints Row was basically cooked from the first trailer. Like that game was done. But GTA knows with the amount of hype they get, they can just show you like a minute of cars, and,
Yeah.
and he'll get 50 million views, and they can do that up until launch. They don't have to show you anything.
And I'm gonna say the same. That's the same thing that I said for Spider-Man. Like they don't have to show you anything. You're buying this game.
Yeah,
You,
100%.
if they charge you $100, you're buying this game. Like the game is gonna be what it is.
They can show the bare minimum. That's all they
Yeah,
have to do. They don't have, so you won't even know if they wanted to go out. You wouldn't even know how woke the game was until you actually played it.
they could zoom into the logo, and then from the logo zoom into a release date, and then never show another thing, and it's gonna sell through the roof.
It's going to break records.
Yeah. Yeah, because like it's been over 10 years. I remember playing the game on Xbox 360. It was my first time
Nerd.
It was my first time playing actually Grand Theft Auto. I'd watched my brother play like 3 and 4, but I never really played it myself. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And I enjoyed it. I actually had a few videos like go do pretty well in the game. Like there was one where I Franklin found the crazy guy. Um like just randomly I happened to find where they both were at the same time and like had interactions. They're supposed to know each other, and they did not act like it. And eventually, I forget the crazy guy, his name, but he eventually just punched me out, and yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay, East is canceled. I've been a GTA truther since GTA 3, though I haven't played GTA Online very much because it just didn't really interest me. But but the actual main games, love them. I think the game that I've put the most hours in of all time is GTA 3, which is a lot because it has to be a lot because I put at least 3,000 hours into Avengers, and I think I have at least double that in GTA 3.
Yeah, I do remember back though, like when GTA 5 came out, I was working with a bunch of guys on a website, Analog Hype, and my buddy Chrome and Keem, like all they would talk about is heists. When is heist coming? Like, and I never really did any of the online stuff. Um, but like I know it's a huge deal. Like, still all these years later, it's one of the highest grossing games month to month, you know?
Yeah, and I played a little bit of it. I see the appeal. I can see the appeal. Like obviously, you can just make it an expansion of the end game where you're just stacking businesses, getting properties, and all that good stuff. But
I think the modding helps it a lot too.
yeah, the modding community definitely has, as usual, kept it going. But yeah, there's a lot of content. I did a couple of heists with my friends. It's pretty fun. They have they have some crazy weapons you can get for the PvP element of it. So they obviously nailed that aspect. They've made obscene amounts of money. I expect there's going to be a GTA 6 online because they want to be like, oh well, we can wait another 10 years for GTA 7 if we hit GTA 6 online. The funny thing is with GTA 6, I think even if GTA 6 online drops, I think they're still going to be able to milk GTA 5
Oh yeah.
online because I think what they'll probably do is they'll drop GTA 6, but they won't have GTA 6 online yet, and then like a year later maybe they'll announce GTA 6 online, and then people will start switching over to that. But I think they're going to get as much mileage out of GTA 5 online as they possibly can. And even then, I think people are still going to play GTA 5 online.
Because they
Even
have so much invested in it. And
yeah,
like shockingly, I think we're already 3 years into, Xbox Series X and PS5. And like there's still a ton of people that haven't like made the switch.
that's it.
And I can't imagine this game being on PS4 or Xbox One,
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah,
like there's just no way. So I just feel like, and by the way, like it's never been cheaper to get the new consoles. Like the Xbox One Series X is down to 350 right now,
yeah, but
and
no
you
one
can
wants.
get
Yeah,
Diablo with it.
no one wants
Huh?
that slop. But no one wants that slop. But,
But I mean, I'm saying like that's just there. I know the
yeah.
PlayStation 5 on Black Friday you could get it for 350 as well.
Yeah, I definitely saw that for 350. Yeah, that's the big thing. So yeah, if you've been waiting to get that PS5 or whatever, I mean, definitely should have took advantage of Black Friday. But even you got Cyber Monday deals. You can get a PS5. You can pretty much get it now wherever. It's just that now it's just up to you.
I would imagine it would be like the best experience.
Yeah, because you got the obviously apart from the downside of having to use a PC instead of
Right.
the far superior console, you still have you have the benefit of the mods, assuming you have a PC capable of running it, so you'd be able to enhance the experience of GTA Online as long as you can get everything working properly.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, mods are gonna happen. Like that was one of the big regrets I had is I didn't like get into the game and understand the mods and everything because like it was always something to see somebody running around with like some random character from Marvel Future Fight that they pulled out of the files,
Yeah,
you know?
some of the mods are like, I think the craziest mod I saw for GTA was someone did a full Superman versus like Doomsday modded fight,
Yeah,
and they like even took it off the planet to like Mars and like landed on another planet. It was like a fully rendered planet,
that's
and they were just
crazy.
fighting. I'm like, what the fuck? This is like just
Yeah,
a different game at this point.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Some of the stuff I like. GTA is like it's insane how that game, and not even like obviously it's so under the radar for how much money they make. Like you don't realize that they're still so dominant until like the sales figures come out for the month, and you're like, GTA is still raking.
Yeah, still, and just even not even, and we're not even looking at the microtransactions, just the physical sales. I think last quarter GTA 5 sold another 5 million. Those are just the physical sales.
Yeah,
That's not what people are spending on all the
on
microtransactions.
like a 12-year-old game.
Which is, I mean, Jesus, Rockstar. Like that's wild. Yeah. So people that hate live service, suck it up. You're getting a GTA 6 online. You don't like it, just don't play it. But I'm sure it's not gonna. The whole thing's not gonna be GTA online. You're gonna have your main campaign, and then you're gonna have the separate online mode, and that's gonna be that, which is perfectly fine. I have no trouble with that arrangement, and I feel like the live service never people are just getting increasingly more irrational, especially when it comes to our next game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which, surprise surprise, Jay, when people actually get to play it, they don't hate it. Like, as a as I predict, we got our buddy Paul Tassi, who I'm looking forward to resuming his coverage from the Avengers days. Picked up on it. He wrote an article about Miller and the whole situation with the Suicide Squad closed alpha. But yeah, when a while ago I was like, they should definitely have some kind of play test, because I feel like just looking at the game from what they showed, I was like, this looks fun. It's probably better than people assume it's going to be. A lot of the complaints about the live service stuff don't even make sense. So I think if people just had a chance to play the game, those that were kind of skeptical would be more off the fence. And even though they're not supposed to be, giving impressions, we're seeing a lot of impressions online. Suicide Squad has been trending the last few days since the close alpha went live, and overwhelmingly positive. Like, the people that are playing it are saying it's much better than they thought. For the most part, they're loving it. They're securing they're securing their pre-orders, and doesn't surprise me really.
And to be clear, we are talking about the people that are saying this.
Correct.
We are not saying this ourselves. I don't even know if Sadot's played the game yet, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Um,
I don't know Jay. Well, obviously Jay has played all the games from WB, because he gets special early
I mean,
access to all of them.
clearly I've already played and beaten Wonder Woman.
Yes, of course. But he hasn't. But I don't know if he's participating in the alpha, but he wouldn't need to anyway, because he probably already has the game. But but yeah, I'm certainly not talking about my impressions. I'm just looking at what's on social media, and the comments overwhelmingly are people saying they love the game. It's a lot better than they thought. The combat is good. The story is great. The game graphically looks great. The one thing I've seen, the traversal takes some getting used to, but it's really good. There's a lot of positive hype now going into the game, and I thought this something like this could happen because with games like with a game like this, it's like it was going to have to rely on word of mouth anyway, because the Suicide Squad themselves just aren't a huge attracting IP, like the Avengers were.
I
The
mean, they're very
Avengers,
much relying on Harley Quinn.
yeah, Harley Quinn, love Harley Quinn, but she's not carrying like the Avengers did back when where they're relevant. But from what I could tell, and obviously people would much rather just play a Justice League game, but from what I'm seeing, they're getting a lot of good word of mouth because with Avengers you had, because of the IP, you had a ton of people attracted to the product, and then when they got it, they were like, "What is this?" Whereas with Suicide Squad, you had a bunch of people like, I don't know about this one, and then they played it like, oh, so it's actually good. So it could have like kind of a reverse Avengers effect where people actually getting to play it. The more people that actually play it, the more they recommend, and the more sales it eventually ends up picking up. And then if they nail the DLCs and everything like that, we can have like a healthy, at least a healthy first year, much healthier first year potentially than Avengers had. I don't know what they're going to do beyond that, because I don't know how sustainable free DLC is, but at least for the first year, if they, assuming the servers work at launch, that's the real key. How functional all those servers and everything when everyone has access to it. But if they don't have any major launch issues, I think this game could surprise a lot of people, and that's saying something, because February is going to be an absolutely stacked month for games. A lot of games are coming up on that first half of the year. To Seems like they're afraid of potentially running into GTA 6, around the fall, late 2024 range. So there's a lot of games that are stacked in like the early mid 2024. But I think Suicide Squad can hold its own there, because there is a demand for a good live service superhero game, and I think they're delivering.
Yeah, I'm very excited based on everyone else's reaction,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised.
What do you think of Miller's guess that they're going to have Killer Croc as a playable character?
Um, it wouldn't have been my choice. I I really and truly thought that we would see Deathstroke and or Peacemaker 1-2, you know?
Yeah,
They seem like to make the most sense, but
Deathstroke especially. Like, I understand Peacemaker. Well, with the delay, I can understand Peacemaker would make sense because Peacemaker became popular recently, but Deathstroke I feel like was
long
like a
term.
no brainer. Like, you
Yeah. I
gotta
mean, we
that's
we think about that like Joe Manganiello. I don't know if I said his last name right, but
close enough.
yeah, we think about that scene, the after credit scene, where he comes up on the boat, you know, and he's all death stroked out, and how stoked we were for that, you know.
Yes.
And then I think there was also another scene in one of the, like where him and Batman kind of like face off. Like obviously Deathstroke is in everything, you know. So that would have, and I know he's not traditionally a Suicide Squad person, but like it is their take on it. So I'm sure at some point we're gonna get both of them, especially because there's gonna be a new season of Peacemaker coming out eventually,
Right.
and they're gonna want to cross promote that.
Yeah, but my concern mainly with the DLC characters was like the limitations on the combat, because the way it's set up, from what I've seen from people sharing their impressions, is that it's it's pretty much mainly a shooting game. Each character has a variety of melee weapon and range weapons, but you have multiple guns you could choose from, and you have a melee button, and it's just that one melee attack, and then you have another then you have like a couple more special moves that you can unlock, but it But and when I'm thinking about a character like Deathstroke, you know, he would have been great in like an Avenger style game because you know he's one of the best hand to hand fighters in all of DC. He has some crazy stuff he could pull off, you know. But just having a game where he's just running and shooting would be, you know, which is also makes having a Killer Croc weird because similar to King Shark is like they're not supposed to need guns. It's weird. It is.
Would you call Killer Croc an Echo?
It could be. We could be looking at an Echo character. I mean, they're both talking predators of the sea. So
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Killer Croc, but I mean, I feel like Killer Croc is a traditional Suicide Squad member.
he is a squad member. Did
Yeah,
you have Miller spill the tea to you privately?
I did not. I don't
Want
want to know.
to keep it secret? Yeah. So I couldn't resist. I asked Miller to tell me everything, and
I'm
he told.
fine if you say something, but
Oh,
I just
oh,
didn't.
I can't say anything.
All right.
He told me some shit, bro.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't gonna seek the information out, you know.
Oh, he told me some stuff, but I will definitely say what after learning some of what Miller said, I'm like very looking forward to launch day. I will say that.
I mean, listen, that is like the there's like a yin and a yang when it comes to data mining and leakers and everything. Because obviously when you're cooking good, and somebody finds that you know your specialty dish and they like tell you all about it, everybody's gonna want to go and eat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the benefit of that. But obviously there is the reverse where there's not as much there. So uh, I feel like just seeing the way that uh, I don't know. I feel like he's excited, and that is a good
Yeah.
sign.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and it's also great how much restraint he's holding. Like he gave us the carrot of hey, Killer Croc, but he specifically said, "I'm not going to tell you this other thing because it might actually like spoil it, and it's very fun." And I didn't mind being spoiled, but he is right. It is extremely fun, and you should definitely find out on your own.
Yeah.
rather than doing that. But I'm looking. I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to. I think it's going to definitely, especially the thing he wouldn't tell you about. I think that's going to. I think that and some of the other stuff from the closed alpha that other people have experienced that I that I've heard about are definitely going to catch a lot of people off guard and make them remember. Oh yeah, Rocksteady is actually a really talented studio. They kind of know what they're doing.
But it's not a Batman single player game, Sadot.
That is true. You cannot flip around and hit two buttons and take down a bunch of disposable bad guys or ride around the Batmobile all the time.
Yeah.
Well, never
mind. I really wanted to get the remake, the trilogy on Nintendo Switch, but
I saw someone tweet that it was unplayable, and they showed a scene. They showed a clip, a gameplay clip of them playing one of the Batmobile missions on Arkham Knight, and it looked very much playable.
yeah,
but just not in. It just looked like below
it just
30.
looked like the terrible Batmobile mission. But
Yeah.
like, I still don't understand. Like, see, here's my thing. Like, I just didn't want to spend $60 on it, because I just can't really afford to spend $60 on a game that I've owned like on 5 other versions right now. But like,
All you need is that Battinson skin. After all,
yeah, and it sucks that it's like locked behind Nintendo Switch for a while. That's what I was hoping for, and I couldn't justify it. But I still don't understand why people are shocked that the Nintendo Switch can't handle games the way the PS5 and Xbox Series X can. Like it's all when it came out like 8 years ago. it was already behind the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't gotten any better.
Well, it's been like 10 years.
Yeah, it's been out a very long time. The hardware hasn't changed. Um, it is what it is, and you have to understand that when you get a game on the Nintendo Switch, it is the most inferior version of the game.
Correct.
So, yeah, I feel like a Switch owner kind of expects a little bit of whatever was happening in that video. I saw the same video you're talking about.
Yeah,
It was a pretty big creator too.
and they were getting absolutely roasted in in the comments, as they should, because it's like, yeah, it's Nintendo Switch. Like, it looked very much playable. It's if you're getting Arkham on Nintendo Switch, you should have expected a little bit of jank. Like, it's not gonna run like a PS5. It's a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So, I mean, even Nintendo Switch games run bad on Nintendo Switch. Like, the Pokemon games are, nowhere near what they should be.
Exactly. Like, it's part of the I guess you call it the Nintendo charm. Like,
It's unfortunate. They deserve better. You know what they deserve? They deserve to be a third-party studio that releases their games on Xbox and PlayStation. That's what they deserve.
they deserve. But at the end of the day, you also, I mean, as long as you're paying for it, the Nintendo has no reason to change. Like, you make all their games, consistent bestsellers. They're just going to keep giving you the same shit. Like, what do you expect? Like, yeah. Tears of the Kingdom. It's not going to look like a. Yeah, it's not going to run. Yeah, it runs well for a Nintendo Switch, but
Yeah.
but that's all it's gonna do.
No, and that's obviously something where the game is optimized for the Nintendo Switch.
Sure.
When it's a first party game, they're always going to play better than the third party titles. You know what I mean? Because they're optimized purely for this, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, which is fine. If you're having a Nintendo Switch, odds are you're probably just locked in. It's like, you know what, this is what I like. I don't mind running around with my little handheld with Link at 30 FPS. I don't mind the 2D stuff. That's your thing, and Nintendo will keep giving you that as long as you buy it.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, and obviously it's a small screen, but like, to be fair, when you play in handheld mode, the games look way better than they do on like a 40-inch plus TV.
Of course.
Like, I sit here and I'll play it on my like handheld, because like I think I showed it last week. This is my Switch. I've got those Evolutions Joy-Cons, right? And like, whenever I take it with me and play it, like, I'm always reminded, oh, it is a little bit better on this little screen, which is, just a little bit bigger, than an iPhone, 15 Max Pro, whatever, So, uh, but like, obviously, like anything else, when you stretch it out, it washes.
Yes, it does. And maybe, well, I hear next year. Well, actually, I hear this year at the 2023 Game Awards, we could be getting an update about the next Nintendo product that is coming up real soon, December 7th. That's actually next. It's actually 2 days after the GTA 6 trailer drops. We will get the 2023 Game Awards, and apart from they're not using the world premiere label like they usually do, we're told, Jeff Keighley said, expect as many reveals as the 2022 event, which had a pretty decent offering, and we're getting a lot. One of the things that I've heard is that Nintendo is dropping an update on their next hardware, which I believe will be a sequel to the Nintendo Switch. They are they're not going to go, competing with the PS5, Xbox console market. It looks like they're just going to double down on the Switch and just kind of improve on that, which perfectly fine. I'm sure people will love that. But we got a ton of potential games getting revealed, and I'm definitely looking forward to covering that. What are you looking forward to, Jay? What are some of your predictions?
Transformers Reactive, I think it's called.
Reactivate?
Yeah, whatever it is. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, every time someone brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, they did announce like randomly a live service Transformers game, and then we just never heard about it again.
Yeah, that is like my number one thing. I'm also looking forward to the new KOTOR update trailer.
That's never happening. Jeff Kelly walks on stage and announces, we have a special announcement. Take it away, embrace your group, and you see Lars like, I'm sorry, we are officially announcing that we are ceasing development on the KOTOR remake, and we are currently looking for buyers to looking to take a studio.
I can't even imagine a company that has failed harder in the video game industry than them. Remember,
Holy
they just
shit.
like bought everything. You're like, oh, Embracer, powerhouse.
You know they own they bought the Lord of the Rings.
Like literally Lord of the Rings?
Literally they bought Lord of the Rings.
What the fuck are they doing? Like they just bought a bunch. Like I feel like they're just like this the boomer with a lot of money that just goes out and buys all the new tech that they don't understand, and the grandkids are going to show them how to use it. Like it's insane.
Oh my god! They actually just announced Free Radical, the Time Splitter studio. They were one of the acquisitions from Embracer. Embracer is shutting them down for Christmas. so if you're hoping for a new Time Splitters, or I mean, unfortunately, all of them are going to be out of work for the holidays.
It's insane. We all thought they were going to come in and be like the knight in shining armor for Avengers, and like, oh boy, not only is it like, because you think this is a company that is acquiring all these studios. Clearly they have a plan.
Yeah, clearly, but yeah. Turns out not so much.
Yeah. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. Like maybe we'll see a new something new from a Star Wars game, something new from a Marvel game or two, maybe a new DC game. Who knows? More a Wonder Woman update. I don't know what WB Montreal is working on. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see whatever the Lego people are working on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see if that showed up. Oh, Sadot froze. All right, so Sadot had to drop out because he's on a Mac, and Mac is just objectively inferior, and he'll reboot and come back. So, what are you guys looking forward to? I see Hoarder is looking forward to more Wonder Woman. Is anybody else looking forward to anything in particular? He's also looking forward to Metroid Prime 4.
Time for my annual refresh of Google Chrome because it sucks ass.
So I just figured I would put it out into the audience what they were looking forward to while we're waiting for you to pop back in.
I think I haven't heard anything about Lego, but I'm hoping for that for you, Jay, because I know how much you love need
the
Lego.
So when I was in Montreal last year, the big talk was that they were working on Lego Mickey and Friends, Lego Disney Mickey and Friends for the 100th anniversary. Then apparently at some point they shifted to a Lego Harry Potter, which is like Skywalker Saga. In any event, they used to put out 2 games a year, plus they had updates for Lego Worlds and Lego Dimensions, and there was just always something coming out. And now they've turned into a studio that's like, you're lucky if you get a game every 3 years, which is crazy because they bought multiple extra studios. And there is that Funko game. They did show something, and that's the thing. Like a lot of the people that I know from TT Games left and started 1010, and they're working on that Funko game, which looks like it's going to be Lego but Funko,
Right.
and it looks awesome. Like I saw they're going to have like Masters of the Universe. They're going to have Jurassic. It's basically like a lot of Universal properties and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that too. And I
wonder what it is with because I know they had a lot of problems at the studio during the process of making Skywalker Saga.
Oh yeah, I've they went to put the game together. Like they were done. They had all the cutscenes filmed, and they were at the point where they're starting to put it together. And it's the first time using a new engine. And when they went to add the cutscenes, they didn't work, and they had to start over from scratch. That's like a story that I've heard through the grapevine. Like that is a killer.
I cannot imagine how pissed I'd be.
Yeah. Like imagine like and those cutscenes are awesome. They're very intricate, great, very well made, and they just did not work.
That sounds like some fucking Frostbite shit.
Yeah. So needless to say, yeah.
Yeah, maybe going forward they're like focus on optimizing the studio because I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see how studios are going forward because I know some companies are like trying to embrace like AI more and more. Like I even saw a story a week ago about companies looking into allowing players to like voice their own character in games, which is interesting. I know Microsoft has been I think they partnered with a company that specializes in generative AI, and they're looking to try to find ways to incorporate that in games. And I think that's going to be more and more. I think for the most part, the first thing you're going to see with that sort of thing are like cuts are like going to be NPC behavior. I've already seen like samples of that where you can like have like real time conversations with NPCs, and like someone set up like a Unreal demo where they're like they modded ChatGPT and they were talking with an NPC and just having like an actual conversation where they're just reacting. I think that's going to be one of the first innovations, and people are just knee jerk, AI bad, but eventually they're they're going to work it in piece by piece, and people are just going to accept it for for what it is, especially when they see some of the cool applications and how it can make their entertainment better. But for now, I don't know, the game industry. Fortunately, we haven't heard anything about the strike, so I think we should have games coming out on time. So I think 2024 could potentially be packed. I'm personally expecting. So for what I definitely know will be at the Game Awards, definitely 100%. I know we'll be there. Death Stranding 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Those will definitely be there. But I'm hoping as a superhero content creator that primarily that we get an update on Spider-Man 2. I know they have a couple updates that they could talk about. They got the patch due out in December that's going to bring in the new game plus and the mission select stuff. And then they got the story DLC, which
Was that ever actually like announced as a thing?
It hasn't been officially announced, but we know they're working on it. Thank you, Tony Todd and Najee Jeter, for talking too much. So that's supposed to be a 2024 thing. So the Game Awards would be a great place to announce that officially, since we all know they're going to be there because they're nominated for a lot.
I'm like not comfortable in my chair today.
Same. But I'm hoping Wonder Woman. I feel like is a good bet because basically the superhero games that were like revealed 2 years ago that had trailers. I think those are most likely to get Game Award updates because it's been long enough where unless they had something catastrophic happen behind the scenes, they should be closer to a release by now. So Wonder Woman should have something because I think that could come out in 2024 or early 2025, and I definitely have that high on my list, even though for some reason there's like a bunch of incels that are just already complaining about that game. It's actually ridiculous. Like, why do we need why do women need superhero games? What do we need? Who wants a Wonder Woman game? Like, this is just absolute nonsense.
Just what I've seen from Wonder Woman in like the Suicide Squad trailers, like she looks awesome in that. Like why wouldn't you want a Wonder Woman game? Like it's a freaking awesome character.
It's wonder like I literally don't understand this generation of some of these these gamers like when I was growing up, the idea of any game around the Justice League members would have been awesome, and especially Wonder Woman. I mean, it's Wonder Woman. Like, why would you not want to play an open world superhero game, Wonder Woman, especially in Monolith's Nemesis system, which so it's like what are we really talking about here? But I feel like people are so fixated on Superman and the lack of a Superman game that they keep getting triggered every time someone gets a superhero game that's not Superman. It's like, I get it, but that just because you're not getting a Superman game doesn't mean this non Superman game is going to be bad or should exist. Like, I understand why they can't get out of this mindset. Like sure they're definitely, obviously you don't want to just assume it's going to be great because the people are worried about the live service thing, and because that's what the CEO said they're looking at going forward. I did a breakdown of why live service doesn't mean always what you think it means, and it probably isn't that bad. But there is some precedent because Shadow of Mordor was filled with microtransaction pay to win slop. So it is fair to worry about that being brought up again in Wonder Woman. But other than that, I think the whole live service panic is definitely largely overblown because if you're actually paying attention, most games have live service elements. Like that's standard practice. Like people, and you tell it's standard because so many people are used to it, and not only that, but enjoy it, that they don't even consider it live service. Like, I made this point in my video that all these things like season passes, uh, post launch paid DLC, all these things are live service elements, and apparently that just blew so many people's mind. They're like, they just immediately like, what? It's not live service because it's not Fortnite. It's like
yeah, people don't understand like games as a service is not like a catch-all.
Yeah,
Like
it's a philosophy,
right.
I understand a lot of people aren't smart enough to understand when CEOs talk, but I thought the Zaslav gave a pretty concise breakdown when he was talking to the investors about their live service plans of exactly what games and service live service means. Like, the idea is basically to get players to spend more time on individual games by giving them a reason to come back to it, and allow the companies to make more money off the game beyond just that initial purchase.
And think about it, like, so Spider-Man, for example, you have that first Spider-Man game. It had a couple DLCs, minor ones. It wasn't a big money making DLC program, but it was something. All right. And then you go to Miles Morales. You have to wait that time in between. You go to Miles Morales, and that's literally it. Here's the game.
Mm,
This is what you get. All right. And then you go to this game, which right now, so far, this is what you get. All right.
so far.
Um, but like imagine a world where like instead of having to wait every few years, you're just able to keep adding on in like little slices, and it cuts the turnaround time down and allows the developers to make more content around a game that's already built. Obviously, they would rather keep adding on to something they've already made than have to go back to the drawing board and remake a whole thing. Because apparently, Spider-Man fans also expect like that he like randomly goes with Black Cat to Paris and he's now your I don't know how to say it in French, but your friendly neighborhood Spoodermoon.
I believe he's called Night Monkey.
That's fair.
Over there. That's French for
But you know what I mean?
murderer.
Like
But
the fact that they added to what they already had was like not good enough for a lot of people. They're like, wait, you mean you're just basically reusing the map again?
and also we heard a lot of people wondering why there wasn't DLC for Miles Morales. Like, oh, so what, we mean this just a game, and they wanted DLC like how Spider-Man is for they wanted they are accustomed to the idea of the game having more to it than what you initially pay for, and that's and Spider-Man PS4 is a great example of the games as a service philosophy without without being a full live service game, but you still throw in those live service elements to essentially appeal to essentially fulfill the games as a service philosophy, which is to give players a reason to come back to your game and get more money beyond the initial purchase. So if you bought Spider-Man PS4, it was a complete game at launch, but you also paid for the season pass essentially that got you the full City That Never Sleeps DLC, which ended up being 3 separate stories that continued from after the end of the game. And they also added New Game Plus, and after the fact, that also didn't come at launch. And so not only did it give people a reason to spend money beyond just the Spider-Man PS4, you spend money on the DLC, but you also, when that DLC came back, when that DLC episode dropped, you came back to the game, you played the DLC, you did the story, and then you could do a run around, do some more completion of stuff. Gave you a reason to come back to it, gave you a reason to spend more money, and you do it again. That's we saw that with Arkham Knight. They had a literal season pass. You get some skins, new playable characters, new stories, but you had the complete game. But because the game's a service philosophy, why just have the complete game when obviously players are going to want more if they especially if they enjoy the complete game. So you give them more reason to come back to the game and keep playing it, and also more reason to spend money beyond just what they initially paid for the game. That's so that's how most of these companies do it, because they understand that a live service game has a negative connotation. So instead of just going all in on just making another Fortnite or Destiny clone, it's like, okay, well, we'll just take certain aspects of the live service element and keep that philosophy, but we'll just scale it down and just add it on to this existing game. That way we don't have to brand ourselves as a live service game, because we know gamers are too stupid to know the difference. So as long as we don't say live service, we can basically get a lot of the same benefits without any of the downsides.
Arkham Knight actually had a lot of microtransactions. There were like a
More than
lot of
Suicide
things
Squad.
you could buy.
More than Suicide Squad, in fact.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Like, I agree. People like I get it. All right, you want to be able to buy a game and like feel like you're getting everything, but like you also want more. And if you want more, like they're gonna have to pay people to do it. It's funny. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at Hold on, let me pull it up. It's so funny that like the timeliness of this tweet. I was looking at Twitter, and Perfect Legend, who is a um a legendary Mortal Kombat streamer, literally just tweeted this. I can't believe video games cost $70 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, do people not remember how much games used to cost?
No, you don't. A lot, because a lot of people who are on social media complaining are like 12. Like,
Yeah.
like they have no idea what the fuck they're talking
Yeah,
about.
like this was what it cost. You'd walk into Toys R Us back when like if they didn't have a video game desk, they had like these rows of like tickets.
Yep,
You'd
you got
take the ticket
go
and
and
you'd
then,
go to the desk and you'd buy it, and then you'd go pick up your game.
yeah,
Um,
and sometimes that game would be $90. Like,
yeah,
and
and
and,
those,
and and not with deluxe edition, not the deluxe edition. That's just the game.
that's the 10-hour edition. You know, like that's the cart with the like 2D, 3D, like whatever,
Yeah.
art and everything.
There's no, yeah, there's no skins, there was no bonus add-ons. It was literally just the game. and and it was like 80, sometimes 90, sometimes $100. And that was it. And they were just all over the place. Like, yeah, Fantasy Star 84.
We would both hit
You
it.
know, yeah. This is all for 84.99 on Genesis. Like yeah, like there was no, that was the difference back then. There was no set price on games. It was just like they could just range from like 60, 70, 90. Like there was never any set price. But then eventually, when the technology got to a certain point, the industry became more standardized, and it was like, okay, so the standard price of AAA games are going to be $60, and that's what we have pretty much for the PS4 generation. And then and going back, and then when after the PS5 came out, they were like, okay, now we got the PS5, we got the Series X, so now the standard AAA price is going to be 70. And then the people who were literally born yesterday were just like, what, $70 game? Like, yes.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even want to tell you how much I spent on Marvel Heroes. Like that game, I probably spent at least $4,000 on, if not more than that. Like, like you buy all these characters, like, and they were, it was fairly priced, but like that's why like the boosters never bothered me, because like every payday I would buy, like there was this bundle which basically had 72 uh mystery boxes basically, and a lot of what you got out of it were XP boosters, which I was always fine with, but you would also sometimes get a chase skin or something like that. So that's obviously what you're going for. But like when I would get all these XP boosters to go with it, I was fine because they would stack, and I would just sit there. I'm like, all right, I got 40 new XP boosters. Let's stack it, and now I have double XP for
sound like a gambler, Jay.
for the next 50 hours.
Sound like you have a problem.
No, I just feel like
that was great. But that is the funny that you sound exactly like someone who plays a lot of free to play games. It's like yeah, it's free to play. I get my weekly loot rotation box. I got, and I spend a little money here on the XP. Like that's how they get you. But if the game is fun and it locks you in, then you're like, yeah, I'll mind spending money on this thing that I'm invested in, especially if it's free to get in on. But that, I think the difference is like and where I think it can go wrong with the live service element is when you both don't give the gamers like a good experience, and you kind of force them to have to engage in all of the micro transaction nonsense. And yeah, I think consistently NBA 2K is a pretty great great example of that. Like if you're a chill player and you don't care, like you can have a fun 2K experience. But if you want to play online, if you want to compete against other people, it's a pretty terrible system. Like you're literally forced to spend money. Like there's no alternative. If you want to make a build that is not terrible, you're definitely spending $100 to to at least to max that one out, and that there's literally just no getting around it, and that and you might be dealing with a situation where the skill where you built your character a certain way, but then 2K releases a new patch that makes the way you built your character completely useless, and you can't respec your skills or anything. You can't change anything at all once you once you've allocated those your VC to those attributes. That's it. You can't. There's no respect. There's no refund on that build. You can't change it after the fact. That's just that. So if you want to, so if that center build is ass, you have to spend another $100 on a new center build. So, like that's the sort of thing where I don't, yeah, where I can see where people have an issue. But if we're talking about a situation where it's just like, oh well, it's just I can play the game, I can get on I can do what I want, but I can if I want to get some bonus characters or some bonus skins, I have that there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like we talk about this like every week, and it never like sinks in with people.
It really doesn't. Like there's just so much. I think the problem is there's so much entitlement because people, and I think that's why it's definitely coming from a lot of younger people, because who obviously, in addition to not understanding how games used to cost, they just have this expectation of getting things without consequence. Like they don't understand that there's a supply chain when it when it comes to everything. There's everything. They think, oh well, it's the game. I just want the things, and what do you mean? What do you mean? What they're they're the company. They have all the money. Who care? Who care? Why do they have to charge us? They have the money. Just give me the content. They don't understand the entire process. They don't understand that making the game itself costs obscene amounts of money. You're paying. You have to pay people to make the stuff. It costs a lot of money to do it, and then if you want them to make extra on top of the game they already made, they still have to pay people to do that. They still have to pay for those resources to get it done. Like it just like where do you think this shit comes from? Like how do you think the stuff ends up in the game?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but like Fortnite, for example, though, is last week they had Invincible, to get Adam Eve, Omni-Man, and Invincible and all their gear, it was like $30. All right. This week they have Eminem.
Yeah.
And to get all of his stuff, it's like $30. So like just two little bundles over the course of like a week, basically.
The price of the game
is the price of a full game, and all you're getting is some skins. And trust me, I appreciate them and like them and enjoy, like I buy them and I enjoy switching my character out and getting to feel like I'm playing as these characters. Like I get it, but like, but people hide behind, but it's free to play. Well, all right. So being free to play means that you can like charge this much money for all these items the daily.
That's such a stupid argument too. Like it's free to play, but you've spent $60 over the course of 2 weeks already. How free exactly is your experience here, buddy?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like it really, and people hate it when you like call that out. Like, but I didn't have to pay to play the game. Right. Yeah, but you're obviously paying to play the game because you're buying all this other stuff. Like, there's no way, like, other than little kids, like, all right, my neighbor next door, okay, I think he's like 7 or 8, and he plays Fortnite, and he was telling me about all the skins he has. He has like 4 skins, okay, and that's an 8-year-old, all right, and he just started playing pretty recently. So just there, his parents have invested at least $30 into the game for an 8-year-old. And that's not all he's going to get. you know?
No, it does not.
And it's crazy to me the way that like people don't understand that the free to play games are the ones that people spend the most money on.
Uh, yeah,
That's why they're so popular.
but it's free to play. Yeah, but you spent $3,000, but it's free to play.
Yeah.
It didn't cost me. I didn't have to pay $70 to play it though for the first time.
All right. I mean, so basically, what you're advocating for is demos. You know, like, oh, you get to try it out. If I don't like it, I can delete it. Okay, cool. I get that. I think I've still seen Redbox out there.
Yeah,
That's a you problem.
Yeah, I actually do miss demos. The old days of the demo where you get one CD. It's got like 5 games on it. It's like there's some classic ones. I wish more. I'm glad that at least more companies are letting players like test games before they come out, whether it's like with a beta test or a demo, because I think that's just I think this is a great marketing tool. Gives players some confidence.
Tells you the last time I used Redbox.
Old man. But it gives players some confidence, like, oh, they get to try it out, and it worked very well for Lies of P and Resident Evil remake, and I think it's a great way kind of for companies to address the whole issue that gamers have of games launching unfinished. If you at least let them play the game and see, okay, this is for me, or this is not for me. I think that's great. Obviously, if you're like the creators of Gollum and you're trying to sell people a pile of shit, a demo isn't in your best interest. But if you're coming in at it in good faith, I think having a demo or something that allows people to get a sample of the game before it comes out can be great. If it's a game where you aren't 100% sure it's going to be a slam dunk. Like, obviously there's no reason for Spider-Man 2 to do a demo, because you've played Spider-Man games before, what it is, you're going to buy the game. like there's no reason for God of War, Horizon. They don't need to do demos for the games. What you're buying, and you're going to buy it. But for other games, I think more people more studios should embrace that. That's why I thought that was a great idea. Suicide Squad did the alpha test, and I hope more games going forward will kind of like embrace that idea of letting people play a little bit early, just to test it. Especially, it can't hurt. Like, if you're like letting players play the demo early, it lets you like spot potential bugs that you may have missed.
Yeah,
it's a stress test.
Yeah, there's a whole like form that you can fill out for Suicide Squad, where if you catch a bug, you can fill it out and let them know.
Yeah, like it works for everyone, especially we're seeing this more we're seeing some of this, like what they do is they'll release a game in early access where they'll label it so that that it's not finished, and they'll like build the community that worked obviously wonders with Baldur's Gate 3, which is also supposed to appear at the Game Awards, not just to accept the game of the year, but also to announce the release date of the Xbox version. But there's that new zombie game the day before is finally launching in early access, which is amazing to see, because I pretty much assumed that game was fake. It was never actually coming out. It's been delayed at least 10 times. And so far all we've had where we had trailers, we had gameplay reels, but it looks like, based on the last trailer, it's an actual video game. It's a pretty looking third person MMO zombie survival game. It looks great, but the question is, will it actually work? And will it get out of early access? There are definitely some red flags. I mean, this studio has had several games released in early access before, and none of them have made it out of Early access.
I just want to address this. So like I get this point, but like you're still putting money into the game, and like especially with like the Fortnite crew, which is what most people do. The point is people are still spending money on the game. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like that's the overall point. Like even though it's free to play, they are still investing money in the game. And that's the bottom line of what we're trying to put across. You know what I mean?
yeah. You're regardless. You're spending money. Like there's even if you can earn with stuff on the battle pass, you're still spending money. Like there's very few free to play games where people are legitimately not spending any any money to actually play them. Like maybe if you're playing, solitaire on your phone or something, but if you're playing Fortnite, if you're playing Destiny, you're definitely spending money.
Apex Legends is the one that I like to point out a lot. They're about to start their newest collection event, and they literally have events that center around buying all the loot boxes and getting all the items in order to unlock, you know, a special piece that you can only get during the event. And like it is a minimum of $120 to get everything. Um, Street Fighter 6 today just announced their skin pack 3, which apparently, if you want to get the skin for all 18 characters, is going to cost you $100. That's on a game that already costs $70 to buy at launch. You know, so like it's like everybody's doing it. Everybody, and this is additional content. When the Ninja Turtles came out on Street Fighter 6, it was insane amount of money to get them all and to get everything that came with it. And like that's just a choice you have to make, you
Yeah.
know?
Do you want it or don't you? And and the good thing about those is that no, you don't have to do it. You just but it is but the reason why it's not all just free is because it costs money to maintain these games. Like if you want to play Fortnite, you want to play these games that last forever, well, servers aren't free.
Licensing isn't free.
Licensing isn't free. Making doing the animations, paying your employees. None of this is free. It costs money.
And you look at the new season pass that they just announced the new well, actually, no. Xbox accidentally dashboard leaked the season 5 battle pass, and there are 2 new characters. One of which, long requested, Peter Griffin from Family Guy, is going to be in the battle pass, and the other is Solid Snake from Metal Gear. Like, there's obviously money involved to license them.
Yeah, big money, and but they don't care. Like yeah, they it probably cost them maybe hundreds of $1,000s to get the rights to Invincible, maybe, but they're you charge 30 bucks for the full bundle. Then you have the size of their player base. I mean, we've seen Fortnite easily clear like hundreds of millions of dollars in one day,
Yep.
depending on how popular those skins are.
Yep.
But you got to but if you're licensing these big IPs, I mean, these are a lot of these. You have a bunch of Marvel characters. Those are Marvel billion dollar company. I mean, I'm sure at least it costs them several million dollars every time they want to get a license for one of those characters to sell. So it's like, yeah, you're not going to give that away for free. You're literally losing money.
Oh wow! I just commented as you. That feels weird,
Yeah, that's
and it didn't even go to the right place.
that's racist somehow. That's appropriation.
I figured it out.
Yeah, you have it selected to all, so
Yeah.
you got it. Yeah, Jay figures it out.
Yeah.
He gets there eventually. Speaking of Invincible, Jay only watched the first 2 episodes, so shame him. Shame,
It's boring.
shame, shame.
I heard it
Shame.
gets better, and I just forgot to keep watching. But like, oh my god, everybody's so sad. Poor Mark's mom, she's so sad.
I
Oh,
mean,
the
yeah,
cupboard. She
her
broke the
husband,
cupboard.
her husband just murdered thousands of people and called her a pet. What do you mean?
Sounds like she made out on the deal. She's alive and he's gone.
He beat her son within an inch of his life.
He's not dead.
Everyone is afraid he's going to turn out to be just like him.
Well, in one universe, apparently he does. Spoilers.
Several. Well, I don't think we consider spoilers because I'm pretty sure everyone is ahead of you on Invisible. I think you're the only one technically behind on Invisible, Jay. Everyone else has caught up on the finale. Is at the finale and are waiting for the new season to kick in. You're the one that's lagging behind.
Yeah.
Is that Eminem Fortnite event tomorrow?
It is tomorrow.
Are you streaming it?
Yeah.
Can you stream it?
Yeah. They sent out an email. You can like monetize it for a week and then something. I don't even know. It's whatever. They're not going to strike it. So at least on YouTube.
Good. They're not going to strike it. They'll just claim it. They'll just copy claim it after a week.
Yeah. Something like that. But only for Epic Game Partners.
Oh, it's only for Epic Game Partners.
Yeah. So like you have to have support a creator and it has to be your linked YouTube account.
Oh, I have a supporter creator account.
There you go.
I've gotten money from them before. I'm not going to stream Fortnite though, because it's Fortnite.
Well, you can certainly join me if you want to at least just do the event.
I might pop in, hang out with Jayshockblast Nation. Because
usually you can have 4 people in a group for the event, and you go through the event together.
Yeah, I like me some Eminem. I don't mind. I want to watch me some concert.
I haven't bought the skin. I don't want to spend money on that. I like Eminem, don't get me wrong, but I know I'm never going to use it.
Yeah. I don't want the skin. I just want to show up for the concert.
Yeah. Yeah, the concerts are great. Like I don't really know a whole lot about Ariana Grande or Travis Scott, but both of those were like super super cool.
I'm familiar with both of those people.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm outside familiar with them, but like they're not like either people that I would.
I've got some of the music. I got some of the music on my Spotify playlist.
My Spotify recapped was empty. I don't use Spotify.
Oh, well, you used the Jayshockblast app?
No, I use iTunes and I buy the albums I want to listen to, and I always have them, and that's what I use.
Oh, so you're just an old man? Okay.
Got it. Dude, I still have CDs. I bought a CD recently.
Oh my god. How?
Online.
The Aftershow. Oh, there. That's what we want to see. The Aftershow podcast is on your Spotify rap. It should have been. It should have been on yours, Jay. How dare you?
Yeah.
I use Spotify all the time. I have quite a eclectic collection of songs. I definitely have more Travis Scott than Ariana Grande, but I've got a little bit of everybody and everything on across various playlists. I have a wide variety of tastes, but I definitely couldn't. The new Andre 3000 album was definitely interesting. So the fun. I'm sure you did listen to it or know who Andre 3000 is, but
I listened to so much Outkast back in the day.
Oh,
that's insulting.
Excuse me.
I probably listened to Outkast before you.
I doubt that, but so did you listen to the new Andre 3000 album?
No.
Okay, so I did because as soon as I heard he had a new album coming out, I got very excited because I'm an Andre 3000 fan. I've been looking for some new music ever since One Below Speaker Box, and outside of his features, don't really hear much from Andre. And then when I saw he had the album, I'm like, okay, well, I got to listen to that. And then I heard people were like cracking jokes about it and saying it was weird. I was like, how weird could it be? I thought it was basically going to be like, more of experimental, like, kind of like One Below Speaker Rocks type of thing, where it's like, oh, maybe he's doing some singing, he's not rapping all the time, or whatever. But no, it was literally just straight up an instrumental album. It was like this weird experimental, like, lo-fi, like, neo soul jazz type of instrumental album. It's music that I would listen to study or fall asleep, but it's not what I would listen to when I'm like, oh yeah, I need to hear some Andre 3000 right now. like like if I was listening to if I was trying to listen to some like Flying Lotus, that's the sort of vibe it was on, but slower somehow. But yeah, when I'm trying to hear Andre 3000, I want to hear the Andre 3000. I want to hear him rap, or I want to hear him sing. I want to hear, or a combination. I appreciate when artists like reach, for try to do something, creative, like, but as long as it's like kind of, that's the trick with artists. You got to be like, it's understandable to want to like kind of branch out, especially if you're doing it for a long time. But you also got to keep in mind that your audience has certain expectations, and you don't want to go too far outside of your expectations. Like when Lil Wayne experimented with a rock album, I was like, okay, I'll give it a listen, and because he was still rapping, so it wasn't like so far from Wayne. It was just like, okay, well, he had some more rock inspired, tracks and stuff like that, and was, doing a little more of the singing, but it was still a Lil Wayne album, just more unorthodox production than what you're used to. But it wasn't like an instrumental, classical album. This was a little out there for me. I appreciate the effort though, but yeah, I definitely see why people were not super blown away by the new Andre 3000 album. I could definitely feel that, but I can appreciate some of that. I listen to a lot. That's one thing. I listen to a lot of instrumental stuff too. Like my favorite band is a post rock band. Like they mostly do instrumental stuff. They'd have some stuff with vocals, everything like that. But Hammock, they're pretty much a cinematic ambient post rock band. So a lot of their stuff doesn't have any lyrics at all. But I love listening to it. But it's a time and a place.
Yeah, there's a metal name, and they never changed their name, even after somebody else used the name for other things and other purposes. But they are like, they do have some singing on some of their albums, but they've got a lot of instrumental stuff that I've always enjoyed listening to, called Isis. And yeah, you were waiting for it. I set it up well. But no, they're actually like, they're really good. I think Danny Carey from Tool drummed for them at one point.
Actually, I think it's okay to. I think it's okay. I think funny enough, it's come back around. Like ISIS has got completely destroyed. so it's kind of, I think it's okay now.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it's like a roots back to the like Egypt, so it's like that was kind of more what they were going for.
Yeah, but so did the Nazi symbol.
Fair enough.
Can't put that on a t-shirt.
Fair enough.
Certain stuff. Once it becomes part of the culture, it's like, yeah, you're not getting that back.
Yeah.
It's technically old. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I do enjoy stuff like that too. But I did hear that about that. I actually saw like a video in my feed today of Big Bois at a like at some random gas station trying to buy like 15 winter hats, and somebody was like, that's like $150. He's like, I don't care. I'm rich. It's like, I want the hats.
It's like why'd you tell that the big boy of all people?
Yeah, I don't think they realized who it was. I think that was the point. But
Us kind of like a Tony Hawk situation.
yeah,
Like, are you? Hey, you look familiar.
yeah. So
Yeah, that is some weird rich people stuff. That's one of the reasons I want. That's what they. If I was rich, I wouldn't even do stuff like that. Like, but it's nice the idea, like having money. It's nice that you can occasionally just buy something stupid and just not think about it. Like, obviously doing it too much can be a problem, but when you have like decent money, it's nice. It's nice where you could just kind of have that freedom to just grab something, like, because usually when you don't have money, every single purchase is like a decision. Like,
yeah,
you're sitting there like, do I really need to eat? I've been in those situations where I had to make that choice, where every purchase comes with at least a couple minutes of thought. Where you're like, but
we've all been there.
yeah. But now in my current position, I'm in that situation where I could just look at something and just be like that printer, like that thermal printer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like at certain points, like a couple years ago, I would have been like, the idea of getting a new printer was like, oh, I'm just not going to do it. but today I'm just like, okay, this printer's absolute shit, but I do want a new printer, so let me grab this thermal printer. It's like $150, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get some drinks while I'm at it. It's nice. It's nice to be able to buy stuff that you want or need without sweating it at all. So I want to eventually get that feeling where I'm just like, oh, I'm just rich, and just never have that. But even then, I'm pretty low maintenance. I have a pretty low cost of living for me personally. I think partially from growing up so poor. So to me, the idea of splurging is like maybe buying a couple games
Yeah.
in a week.
I'm a bit of a collector, but I've slowed that down quite a bit.
A bit.
Yeah. For me, I mean, honestly, I don't get nearly as much as I used to. I've been thinking, like, because I am just definitely not in a position anymore, you know. But the heart wants what it wants sometimes, and you just do it.
Oh yeah, I feel the heart tells you, you know what? I really, really need that 16-inch Kate Bishop action figure.
I mean, yeah, that was like one of my few, but like I have like probably well over 100 of those, and I think I only got like 7 this year.
You have 100 Kate Bishops?
No, that's style figure,
I was say, I didn't know you. I know you were that much of a fan.
No. The Hot Toys, like, I love those. I have a lot of those, and I probably got the least amount.
How many Jane Fosters do you have?
None.
Liar.
They're not out yet.
I know you got a connection.
Well, I mean, there is going to be one eventually, but I'm not getting it.
Sure. Jay likes to pretend that Jane isn't his favorite hero.
I do have 4 Thors, though.
Yeah. So what's one more?
Well, I will get one more. I'll get the new Thor from Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Jane Foster, the mighty Thor.
No.
Anyways, did you speaking of Jay hating women, did you hear about the new Bob Iger?
Only one of us is married, by the way.
Yeah, your wife has my condolences.
I don't disagree with that.
But I heard this making arounds. Bob Iger basically admitted to investors that he phrased this in the most um the most economical and corporate way he possibly could. But he basically just said we got woke and went broke in the most corporate way possible. I think he phrased it as there there was a significant misalignment between the values they were trying to put in their content and that of their audience, and they attributed that to a lot of their underperformance. so so uh so I think I think uh I think the South Park thing is really getting to everybody because it's been crazy. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen the word woke used so many times in the last month. It's actually crazy. It's actually almost annoying me. It's actually no, it's not almost. It actually is annoying me because ever since the Pandaverse came out, now everybody feels
The
like
Pandaverse.
yeah. Did you not? I still haven't actually watched the episode, but I've seen it. I've seen the clips of it.
No.
You know about the Pandaverse, right?
No.
You don't know about the Pandaverse? Oh, I know we didn't talk about it in the show, but I assumed you saw it.
What is it?
It's the new South Park special. They made fun of Disney and basically they made a whole episode about Disney going woke, and they say it's because of the Pander Stone, which they use in Disney headquarters, which Kathleen Kennedy uses to make to basically insert a woman that's gay into every property, and the whole catchphrase is Cartman is basically is being played as Kathleen Kennedy, and literally every time someone suggests some content or a show, he's like, put a chick in it, make her gay. that's like the whole bit. And like they had this special pander. They used the Pander Stone on South Park, so you saw like they showed the school and all the South Park kids, except they're all being played by diverse women instead of the normal characters. So like I think Cartman was like a black woman or something. It's like yeah, they just made fun of the whole race swapping and everything like that. And mainly they made fun of Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars. And like ever since then, everyone's just been like jumping on the bandwagon, like, oh yeah, down with the woke, while everyone, they were all quiet like the last few years, but now that South Park has come out, everyone feels empowered, and now under every video I make, it's someone complaining about something potentially being woke. Like I made a Wolverine video about potential villains, and I look under the cover. I look under in the comments. I'm seeing, oh yeah, I bet Wolverine's going to be trans. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. We've seen one trailer. It's Wolverine, and because you had to play one side mission in Spider-Man 2 with a gay character, they think everything is going to be. I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up.
That made me think of something that happened this week in the sports world. Speaking of go woke, get broke, did you see the Deadspin situation with the little Kansas City Chief fan?
I did not.
So at the Chiefs game, they zoomed in on this kid who was wearing face paint in the Kansas City Chief colors, which is half his face was red, half his face was black, and he was wearing the headdress.
I already see where this is going.
All right. And this writer for Deadspin crops the picture so he's facing this way, which was the black side, and basically accused the station of promoting blackface.
But that he intentionally he's a journalist. He probably didn't intentionally crop. Like, what am I saying?
And then doubled down on it, and now has turned off replies to all of his tweets.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. So So this could not have gone worse for him because literally everybody, no matter what you consider yourself, is like blasting him. All right. And it couldn't have gone worse because not only did he intentionally, dishonestly show just one side of the face, all right? They're playing the Raiders, I think, too. And there's several Raider fans, silver and black, you know?
Of course.
Like, but he also pointed out the headdress. This guy, his grandfather is part of, I don't know the name of the tribe, but he's in the council. He's one of the like the actual like
so he's an actual indigenous person.
An actual indigenous person
Oh
lives on indigenous property. His grandfather is on the tribe council, like legitimately. All right. But it's so bad that people are taking it a step further. Well, it doesn't matter because the tribes out west don't wear headdresses. So it's still appropriation. And I'm like, you people are insufferable. It is a child at a football game dressed as the mascot. It is very clearly not done out of anything but pure joy for the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you want to argue whether or not that should be a name that's allowed,
but
I don't agree with it, but whatever.
Under their ideology, there's no fun allowed.
Yeah. I could not believe, and it blew up so badly because now it's so bad that not only like turning off your tweets never solves the problem.
It always makes
it makes it worse because now everybody quote tweets every single one of your tweet, and it's just expanding it. Like that's why even like when I had that Spider-Man tweet where people were like, you know, being irrational, I was right, they were wrong, they're idiots. But like I didn't turn off comments.
Yeah, you just muted it, so
I just muted it, so it was like whatever. But like I knew if I turn off comments, they're just gonna think that they're right, and it's just gonna make it worse. So whatever.
Yeah, dude's basically gonna have to delete his account.
Yeah, it's bad. It's been Deadspin as a company has always done stuff like this, and what I love about Dave Portnoy from Barstool is he hates Deadspin,
as he should,
and they have just been dunking on them all week, and it's been absolute gold.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I missed it. I've been the only sports related story I was looking at controversy wise was the whole Josh Giddey situation, which has taken several turns. You'll never believe it's already turned into racism.
Oh God, I do believe it. I don't even want to get into that. I don't know, like because I feel like there's nothing
to like. The whole we'll get. I just mentioned like the whole racism angle was that you have people already saying basically like because of the response to Josh Giddey compared to Ja Morant is proof that racism.
I see. Here's my thing. All right, and I don't really think this is that hot of a take, but like, isn't the age difference between them like a year, like barely?
No. So he's 21. He's very young, but she is allegedly 15.
See, that's not what I heard though. I heard she's 17, or she was 17 when it happened, and he was 19.
So that's the thing. That's the other reason why this isn't being treated the same way as Ja Morant, which by the way didn't become a big deal until like the fourth incident he had,
right?
When he then followed that fourth incident up by waving a gun on Instagram Live, like that. Like that's where that was. This whole thing is because it's the only evidence that the accusation that he 21 with a 50-year-old came from an anonymous Twitter account that didn't provide any actual evidence, just posted the videos and the screen and the clips and said and made the accusation and then deleted everything. And yeah, I mean Josh Giddey's response isn't great, but
I haven't really followed it too well, but I heard like 17. I didn't hear 15.
No,
And when I heard 17, I'm like, okay, well, age of consent in the state he lives in and
it's
in the
16.
country he's from
It's
is
16.
16. So like I guess it's weird that there's a situation where it just happens to be he wasn't in one of those places, and that's assuming any of it is even real, but like I
But when he when he was asked about it, he was like he just refused to comment on anything,
yeah,
which I'm like, ooh.
but he was probably advised not to though.
He might have. There's a good chance he was like the team is like the team would basically we're not talking about it, we're just moving on. But when it's with a situation like this, it looks bad.
Yeah, see what I and again, like there's so much out there that I don't know what's real, like what I heard was that it happened when he was 19, and it was at an 18 plus club that they met, and she was 17, and that's it. That's all I heard. That's all I read. But even if it was it was 17 21, but like still like I don't know, it's weird. Like it's just weird. Like I feel like it's not anybody's business if she's not like pressing charges, and that doesn't seem like anything that was, or her family isn't, and that doesn't seem like anything that was ever happening.
Well, my other thing is I think we need to know like for 100% sure, like is as girlfriend, did they have that kind of relationship? How was she? Make sure everything was above board, because right now we just don't have any actual facts. We just know that he was with this girl, and someone is saying she was super young, but based on what the laws, he probably didn't do it. He may have not broken any laws. He may have done something weird,
Yeah,
or
I
he
don't
may
think it's anything like the situation with the shortstop from the Tampa Bay Rays.
no, that was an alleged assault. John Morant was of course alleged of physically beating up a 17-year-old and
No, the one from
and
the
pull a
Rays,
gun.
he was like Wander Franco, like he was allegedly hooking up with a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, that I mean, it's definitely. I would say it's definitely not as bad as Karl Malone.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up Karl Malone. Like they
Hall
can't
of
claim
Famer
racism. Karl Malone got away
Karl
with everything.
Hall of Famer Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime someone, that's why I definitely didn't buy the racism angle, because I'm like, y'all reaching now. Yeah, like John Morant got exactly the amount of pushback he should have gotten. Like, but uh, Karl Malone, just bring up Karl Malone. That should end that race discussion. It's Karl Malone.
And this is all you need to know right here. If the girl's family is not cooperating, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Like what can you do?
yeah, there's something off. That's why I'm like, if it comes from an anonymous Twitter account, don't you you take it with a grain of salt. You got to keep that in mind where it's coming from. But again, Karl Malone. It's not about race. Karl Malone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what Karl Malone did. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look,
Very well documented.
it is. It is. It's actually. You actually won't believe it when you read it, but it's 100% true. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. So eventually they'll come to a conclusion, and they'll figure something out. I think by far the bigger story in the NBA is Draymond Green choking people.
I love that Saturday Night Live video I showed you. But did I kill him?
No.
Well, I was trying to.
To be fair, everyone hates Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks. Ever since the COVID incident he pulled, I feel like everyone in the league just doesn't like him. Like, I think that's a big part of the reason they got the Jazz ended up blowing up the team, because their chemistry was so like messed up from that situation. Like Donovan Mitchell just did not want to pass to Gobert. He did just not mess with him at all after that.
Yeah.
And so he didn't try on defense. So they just was like, all right, we'll just move on. And then Gobert, don't forget Gobert may have cost them a playoff spot last year when he punched one of his teammates in the chest during a huddle during a very close playing game, which resulted in him getting suspended and missing the Laker game they needed him for.
It's been downhill for him, and it's crazy because the Jazz fleeced them.
Oh my God, that was
that is a Danny Ainge special.
Even at the time, like not even seeing them play, that was one of the worst trades in NBA history.
Yeah. Well, it can't be the worst because the
Celtics. That's also one of the worst. Like there have been some whoppers, but I don't know that Rudy Gobert trade you can argue could be the worst. Actually,
I don't even think it's Danny Ainge's best trade.
It's not his best trade, but just the fact, just how much.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
It's because it's one of those trades that gets worse as time goes on,
right?
Because you look at the assets that Minnesota gave up and how they're maturing and then how Gobert has been so far for them. Like look at two of the players they gave up, Walker Kessler and Jared Vanderbilt. Kessler's are arguably as good as Gobert is right now. he arguably had as good of a season in his rookie year. And Vanderbilt, one of the best defenders in the NBA, recently started showing signs of a consistent corner three.
That'll do it. Yeah, it's crazy how Danny Ainge has made like these two franchise-altering deals because he traded Garnett and Pierce and a couple other guys to the Nets for those 3 first-round unprotected picks that turned into
Tatum
and Brown, and plus also turned into Sexton but he got traded to Cleveland for Kyrie, which that didn't go our way, but still.
Not at all. But I mean, Brown and Tatum, even though y'all haven't won a championship yet, thank God. Yeah, it's still. I mean, that's still.
Tatum got ejected tonight.
Who was it getting ejected? The referees, by the way, it has to be said. The NBA has to do something with the referees, bro.
Yeah,
this is getting out of hand. We can't be doing this shit every year. Like it feels like it's getting worse. Like
did you read about the Chris Paul situation?
With what's that ref's name?
I can't think of his name either, but
yeah, there's one particular ref that is documented at this point. Literally, just intentionally just fucks over Chris Paul. Like
the league interjected into it. Scott Foster, there you go.
Yeah, Scott Foster.
Yeah, they had there's an article I read this week. They had a meeting to try to intercede and fix this. And I guess Chris Paul he said something about his kid. And that's what set him off the other night.
Oh.
And it's insane. And it's not just the NBA, but the NBA is bad. But I saw the replay of Tatum getting ejected tonight, and it was both refs. So whatever he said, both of them were you out,
Yeah, but based on what we've seen earlier, with the Giannis ejection and the Jokic ejection, it's used to be over bullshit. It's just the referees are in a position. If it feels like now more than ever, they feel like the league's not going to do anything, so we can just be as sensitive as we want to be and just start throwing guys out because there's not going to be any accountability. It's not like the league's going to punish them, and it's going to it's bad when even the commentators who usually do their best to be neutral at best or or defer to defending the referees are openly just shitting on them on national broadcast because everyone's noticing it's actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, I paid all that money to go see Scott Foster,
Is that well? Someone paid him a lot of money to influence that game.
Well, it's weird because like, and the NBA especially, you would think they would have total accountability, total transparency, because they literally are the only league that had an actual referee go to jail for like
for
fixing
bet for
games.
bet. Yes, not only was he fixing games, he was fixing games in connection with the mafia. so you would think there would be some safeguards in place to assure the fans that all the games were on the up and up,
You would think they would find a way to just not assign Scott Foster to a Chris Paul game.
or that like
Like it's very clear there is something very deeply personal because you never hear about the league having a meeting between a ref and a player, you know, and like to have to go that far and have it still not be resolved after that meeting. Like I think I read that Chris Paul said, yeah, nothing happened from that meeting. Like we didn't agree to anything. And like that's just bad luck.
yeah, I mean, it feels like the obvious situation is like is to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like it's easier to find a referee capable of officiating an NBA game than a Hall of Fame NBA player.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
I think
I don't know.
it might just be you. That's a
That might be
might be
crazy.
one of your all-time worst takes.
That might be a hot take, but maybe. But I feel like Hall of Fame NBA players are rarer than people capable of refereeing a game. I'm just maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there are Hall of Famers all over the place. You just find anytime you need some ratings or a team needs a boost, you just grab one off the wire. But I don't know. I feel like based on my understanding is you could probably find someone to take Scott Foster's place a lot easier
But
than Jokic or Chris Paul.
but that's the crazy thing about Scott Foster though is like he's supposed to be one of the better ones.
Yeah,
He's constantly assigned to a lot of the most important games, you know? So it's weird. It's weird that there is very clearly a personal vendetta between them.
for sure.
And like the numbers don't lie. Like the record against Scott Foster for Chris Paul is bad.
Yeah,
Like his teams always lose.
I feel like, but bottom line, like anytime Chris Paul is doing the game, just don't. If you don't want to fire Scott Foster, fine. But bare minimum, don't put him on Chris Paul games. Keep that apart. But also, if it were me, I would say Scott, fix it or you're fired. Like
Yeah.
that's just me. But I don't know. I think going forward, the league has to have like the league set up that remote referee station where they use the challenge calls. They need to do that. They need to expand on that and basically just start monitoring the referees in real time for these games and just kind of have some oversight so that if it's a situation where where like what happened with Giannis or what happened with Jokic, where the referees are handing out texts that they clearly shouldn't in an effort to throw out superstar players, the league remotely from that replay station looks over it and is like, yeah, people paid a lot of money to see Giannis play, so we're gonna have to rescind those texts, you know, in real time. Like we're not doing that. No, like you can appeal, like it could be an appeal process. Like you can appeal that ejection in real time, and you can have people who are looking out for the interests of the actual league, and like, yeah, we're not doing that because this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just it always seems like it's like petty,
It
you
is.
know?
It usually is because I understand, like, and it doesn't always work with some players get away with a lot more than others, but it seems like with some referees they just can't take anything. Like they don't understand that they're dealing with grown men who are playing a completely competitive game. Like the funny thing is, I was watching Gil's Arenas and they were talking about how this female ref was introduced, and and the players naturally like thought they had to adjust how they had to talk around her. But they said no. She was like the coolest one. Like she understood. Hey, this is a game. This is a game. You guys are super competitive. I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you play. I don't care. I understand. I'm going to hear some. You're going to hear stuff. You're grown men. Just keep it mostly professional, and do your thing. But you have these other referees that if you look at, if you can't even talk to them. Like if you just walk over to talk to them, they'll just be like, no, 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 no. I'm right. I don't want to hear anything. Like you can't even have a conversation with them, and if you push it, they're ready to tee you up. So that's something the league definitely has to. You can't have these fucking sensitive crybabies sit refereeing games, ruin it for everybody because the player yelled too loud and hurt their fifis. I'm sorry. Did they offend you? Was he too loud in the arena with 40,000 people?
Yeah.
That were here to paid to see him and not you.
Do you have emotions in the moment?
Did was he not perfectly calm and reasonable when you made a shitty call that that could potentially cost his team the game? Oh, heaven forbid. he gets a little a player might get a little emotional about it. Jesus Christ. It's actually insane. Like it's really making me it really turns me off from the league. It just feels like what are we doing? Like especially since the league, it feels like the league's always like making some progress to like improve the quality of regular season, and then but there's always that one thing the referees just always hanging over it, no matter what they do to improve the product. That's just always hanging over the season, just every year consistently. This is just the dumbest thing. I just can't do it. But I think we'll wrap it up. I think Jay's butt is properly sore enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I can't believe I have this like super expensive chair and it's like so uncomfortable.
I believe it. I also got to get my new printer and get back to playing a unspecified video game.
Redacted.
Redacted. Redacted.
Is the Game Awards next Friday?
I think it is. No. So GTA trailer is Tuesday the 5th. So yeah. So Tuesday the 5th, Wednesday the 6th, Thursday the 7th.
Okay, so it's Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. So next Friday we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have Avatar Frontiers of Pandora comes out comes out on the 7th, I believe.
Oh yeah. That too.
Early access I heard starts the day before.
All right. Well,
appreciate everyone once again. Shout out to Casual Avenger out there eating deep dish somewhere. We appreciate you. We'll catch y'all next week for the Game Awards / GTA woke disaster or triumph special. whatever it ends up being. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I'm Casual Avenger.
No, you're not.
Jayshockblast.
Damn right you are. Zip it up and zip it out. Peace.